From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
I'm MTN's Heaven Van, and today I'm meeting with Mordecai Fronick, a Bozeman High School student who was burned in a fire in 2013. Today we'll be hearing his story and why nearly 11 years later his family is reaching out to the Bozeman community for help.
Trump on trial. History is made today as former President Donald Trump faces criminal charges in Lower Manhattan. I'm Naomi Ruckham with what to expect this week as jury selection begins.
I'm Megan Thompson here in Butte at the Silver Bow Pit, where soldiers from the Montana National Guard are gathered this weekend to train for an overseas training mission.
Alrighty, it is 6 o'clock on this Monday morning. Jane McDonald and Matt Elwell with you. Well, and speaking of those National Guardsmen training out there, it was a beautiful weekend to do so. Oh my
man,
gosh.
it was gorgeous all weekend long.
It was lovely.
We're transitioning to some cooler weather today. It's still above average, but likely to see some rain showers trying to move in throughout the day. Already seeing at least a few in parts of the area. 30s, 40s, and 50s on the board this morning. Pretty good spread in temperatures. Most of this shower activity is just going to be hit and miss for the first part of the day, and a lot of it mainly in the eastern part of the viewing area. Not to say we won't see a stray shower or two near Butte, but the moisture is just mainly focused across the eastern part of the viewing area. A little bit more wind as well today. Looks like off and on rain showers, especially for the afternoon, so you may want to grab an umbrella and throw it in the back seat or in your briefcase. Temperatures expected to be into the 50s and 60s for most of the area today, but the cooler area air is moving in. It could spell some snow for the region. That's all coming up in just a bit.
All right, thank you very much, Matt. Now, early this morning, we received a press release from the Montana Highway Patrol that a motorcyclist has died as a result of a fatal crash in Gallatin County. The release details that the crash happened yesterday at around 6:30 in the evening, when a Harley-Davidson was traveling southbound on Montana 86 and failed to negotiate a left-hand curve exiting the roadside right, where the vehicle collided with the ditch. The release says that the vehicle overturned several times and that the 33-year-old male driver later succumbed to injuries sustained from the crash. According to the press release, alcohol, drugs, and speed are suspected factors in the crash. We're going to stay on top of this and give you the latest as we get it this morning. But first, a Bozeman High School student severely burned in a 2011 fireworks accident is reaching out to the community for help. MTN's Heaven Van has their story.
In 2013, Bozeman High School student Mordecai Fronick was severely injured in a fireworks accident. Nearly 11 years later, he's still feeling the effects, and today we're hearing his story and why he's reaching out to the Bozeman community for help.
I think we did one or two, and everything was fine.
It was 4th of July, and Mordecai had just turned 5.
And my husband lit it and dropped it in the tube, and the tube broke off from the base, and it spun around like spin the bottle, and it shot right at us.
The rogue firework chased Mordecai before flying up his shirt and exploding.
All they could do here was give an IV and make him comfortable.
Not really any burn clinic in Montana.
After being life-flighted to Salt Lake City, Mordecai has spent the last 11 years undergoing treatment and physical therapy. He is currently a freshman at Bozeman High, where he plays in the marching band and engineers robotics projects. But as Mordecai has aged, he's outgrown the skin grafts used to repair his burns, requiring a new operation that could restore movement to his arms.
When you're marching, if you're doing a slide, you're moving forward, but your body's like facing a different direction. So like it can be hard to turn certain ways. I can straighten this arm mostly, and then this arm is not straight.
It just doesn't grow like other normal skin.
After being told by doctors that new adjustments on the skin may require more procedures over time, the family did what they could to delay surgery.
And so we wanted to avoid that and not be in and out of the hospital and just let him have a childhood.
Now the necessity for surgery has finally come, and after Mordecai's father suddenly passed away in 2020, the family is asking the community for help to pay for costs associated with the surgery. Even though the thought of more surgeries is daunting, Mordecai hasn't let the challenges of his past determine his future.
Keep going. Like, There's always going to be roadblocks and things that stop you, but you have to keep going.
You can find the GoFundMe to help Mordecai on our websites. In Bozeman, Heaven Van, MTN News.
Now on the national scene this morning, the first criminal trial for former President Donald Trump begins today in Manhattan with jury selection. The former president will be in court every day as he faces dozens of counts of falsifying business records, including claims that he tried to hide alleged hush money payments to an adult film star. CBS News' Naomi Ruckham has more on what to expect from outside the courthouse in Manhattan.
When I walk into that courtroom, I know I will have the love of 200 million Americans behind me.
Today, Donald Trump becomes the first former U.S. president to face trial in a criminal case in Manhattan.
Have a good time watching.
Trump faces 34 felony counts of falsifying business records, including claims that he covered up $130,000 in hush money payments to adult film star Stormy Daniels through his former fixer Michael Cohen in order to hide an alleged previous relationship with Daniels ahead of the 2016 presidential election.
We cannot and will not normalize serious criminal conduct.
Trump denies the encounter and has pleaded not guilty to the charges. Presiding Judge Juan Merchan has placed a gag order on Trump after he's made public comments bashing the judge, prosecutors, and Cohen.
I will be forced to sit, fully gagged. I'm not allowed to talk.
First up today is jury selection. Legal experts say it could take weeks to cut a pool of hundreds of potential jurors down to just 12 plus alternates.
Ultimately, there is no one who is going to enter that courthouse who doesn't have an opinion about Donald Trump.
And that's why some legal experts say that Trump's lawyers are likely to file a motion to try to move the trial to another city. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News, New York.
And CBS legal analyst Ricky Kleiman warns that both sides will be on the lookout for so-called stealth jurors who may lie to get onto the jury. Potential jurors must answer a lengthy questionnaire of 42 questions, asking things like if they've ever attended a Trump rally or if they follow the former president on social media. Now, a little bit closer to home, the Biden administration is one step closer to eliminating the so-called gun show loophole. It finalized a rule requiring people who sell firearms online and at gun shows to conduct background checks on all potential buyers. The idea is increasing requirements to better help regulate the market, and it goes into effect in early May. Our Kelsey Boggs attended the gun show this weekend at the Metra to hear both buyers and sellers' concerns over the new rule.
Gun shows are nothing out of the ordinary here in Billings, happening frequently here at Metro Park, with thousands walking through browsing new and used guns. But a new rule finalized by the Biden administration this week could bring major change to the future of gun shows across the country.
I like looking at all the guns and the ammo and stuff.
Chance Mertz, a Billings teen, often finds himself at Metro Park.
How often would you say you find yourself at a gun show?
Like every time it comes to Billings.
On Saturday, he picked up this M1 Garand cartridge belt from World War II.
It has like the clips that go inside of it.
But soon, his favorite outing could see major change after the finalization of an executive order over gun sale rules and regulations.
This is stupid. You have other things, better things that need to be handled.
On Thursday, the Biden administration announced that the Department of Justice finalized a new rule requiring many gun sellers offering firearms at gun shows or online to obtain a license and conduct background checks.
The guns that you have the executive order for are people that are law-abiding citizens that take care of their gun, take care of the people that handle their guns.
Something veteran Randy Stiles says is an unfair move to law-abiding citizens attempting to purchase or sell firearms.
Politicians need to think about who they work for, right? And coming from a veteran's point of view, the government trained me, and now you want to come and try to take my guns?
Current rules require licensed gun dealers to perform criminal background checks on purchasers, but private sales have long been exempted. This, all within days of the 25th anniversary of the Columbine school shooting that was carried out using firearms bought through a gun show loophole. But Stiles says criminals will always find a way.
The ones you need to worry about are the ones that won't listen to you to begin with.
The rule is set to go into effect in early May, meaning gun shows like this one have happening this weekend at the Metra could be the last of its kind. But Stiles says most dealers here have already gone through proper licensing and conduct background checks.
What do you think is going to happen? That's the stupidest thing ever.
One thing's for sure, the new rule stirs emotions for gun owners like Stiles.
The politicians need to quit bickering whether Republican or Democrat is better or whatever. This new executive order, it's stupid.
In Billings, Kelsey Boggs, MTN News.
Thank you very much, Kelsey. Now, if you thought that you saw soldiers hanging around the Butte gravel pit, well, you weren't wrong. It turns out the mining city is the perfect place to move dirt around as soldiers train for a mission in Germany this summer. Our Megan Thompson got her hands dirty checking it out.
About 90 soldiers from the Montana National Guard are gathered here in Butte at the Silver Bow Pit to prepare for an overseas training mission in Germany.
This summer, we're going to Germany to support an international exercise, helping to build infrastructure there.
James Rowland is commander of the 260th ESC, and he also happens to be an MTN reporter based in Great Falls. Commander Rowland and the Montana National Guard soldiers he oversees are using a plot of Montana Department of Transportation land located south of Butte to build up vital skills before their mission.
We're very fortunate to be here in Butte today, especially here at the pit, because we're getting to do things we normally don't get to do.
Staff Sergeant Zachary Sommerfeld is in training to become a surveyor, and he says training for vertical and horizontal engineering projects takes a lot of space, so the large gravel pit is perfect for the work they are doing.
Basically, we're moving a whole lot of dirt around with our big machines and making sure that our soldiers know how to use everything properly.
Commander Rowland says he and his soldiers are fortunate to have an opportunity to serve a mission in Germany this summer.
The National Guard supports operations not just in the state and in the country, but overseas as well, and we're fortunate to get one of those missions.
In Butte, Megan Thompson, MTN News.
Thank you very much, Megan. Now, beginning at 8 in the morning on Friday, select roads in Yellowstone National Park are set to reopen to the public, weather dependent. The west entrance is Old Faithful, Mammoth Hot Springs to Old Faithful, and Norris Junction to Canyon Village will reopen Friday, April 19th. On Saturday, April 20th, entrance fees will be waived in celebration of National Parks Week. Additional park roads will open throughout May, and the National Park Service says to remember to plan ahead and to always use caution while enjoying the parks. For updated road conditions and possible closures, visit the park website. It'll be an exciting time. Hard to believe.
Yep, right around the corner.
You're already into that summer season. Now, before we head into a break, I wanted to share this with you. We're going to head over to Italy, to the ancient town of Pompeii.
Ooh, yeah.
Now, archaeologists in Pompeii have uncovered several impressive works of art. I mean, take a look at this stuff, preserved, almost frozen in time. It's absolutely incredible, the different excavation and archological finds that they continue to have in Pompeii.
Yeah, and of course, that was a volcano that had erupted and basically like you said, frozen time.
Yep, covered everything in ash and soot. It's just absolutely incredible. The fact that people are still discovering things to this day just always fascinates me.
Good stuff.
Over the work there in Pompeii.
Amazing.
All right, 6:14, we're going to take a short break here on Montana This Morning. When we come back, we're going to have some of your top headlines, plus some exciting news from Montana's medical field.
I'm Maggie Riley with MTN News. Coming up, I'll introduce you to the first pediatric rheumatologist in Montana.